she got the inmate to hit her. She got the inmate to hit her. I said, you crazy thing, you. Hold on, y'all. But we're going to do a quick summary, and then we're going to dive into the review. So Luna got the inmate to hit her. She told her she needed her to do it again. That's when they showed the flashback. In the flashback, that's when, you know, she was all beat up and stuff, and that's when Bill seen her, and Bill decided to get her out of jail. So it looked like to me, they showing us that she actually did have somebody beat her up. That lady. Had that lady beat her up so she could get out of jail. And I said, hey, I knew it. I've been saying it for the longest. I said she had to either provoke that person or told them to do it so she could get out of jail. And they don't show the flash. They ain't actually show her getting hit last time. They just showed her all bruised up and showing Bill, and Bill felt sorry for her. And I said, I hope they, you know, what's it called when they put them in isolation? But we supposed to be doing a quick summary. Luna got the inmate to hit her, told her she need her to do it again. And I said, I hope it still don't work. Luna told Steffi that she gonna get out of jail because Bill and Katie not gonna let their grandchild be born in prison. Steffi ended up reuniting with her parents, and she started that stuff again. She was saying how she disappointed by Ridge calling off the engagement and stuff like that. I said, don't you start this again. I said, not this again. I said, don't you start this again. We tired of hearing it now. New storyline. Come on now. Katie's still making excuses for Bill, and Bill ends up telling Luna that he gonna make sure she stays locked up. I said, we'll see about that. But hey, y'all, welcome back to another review of Life with Chessis for the Bold and Beautiful October 21st, 2025. This month done went by fast. Golly, now ain't next week November. Golly. But yeah, what did y'all think of the episode? Did y'all like it? Are y'all shocked that psychopath had this lady hit her? I said I knew they had showed her. If I'm not mistaken, she gonna be talking to Will. Correct me if I'm wrong if y'all seen the promo. Wasn't she talking to Will when she had that bruised eye? I don't know. But yeah, Luna ends up, she was talking to Steffi. She ends up saying how she's getting out because Bill and Katie not going to let their grandchild be born in prison. And Steffi was just reminding her that, you know, the baby is not a get out of jail free card or whatever. I said, we'll see, because look, so far they've instead of saying she going to stay in prison, they going to take the baby. I said, she been a lot calmer than I expected her to be, because that wasn't the first time that they said they was going to take her baby. I said, she too busy in La La Land, ain't it? She too busy in La La Land, because I was like, she a lot calmer than I thought, or she just playing safe. She just playing it cool for now. Because I said, ain't no way that she going to be okay with them trying to take her baby. I said, maybe she just trying to trick them so they can get her out of jail, and then she going to go psychopath. Because ain't no way they telling you they finna take the baby. You still over here. Somebody said, no, you can't leave me in here. We're family now, or whatever. I'm the mother of your grandchild, and all this other extra stuff. I was like, ain't no way. She got to be working now. She got to be working now. But yeah, she was just reminding her that, you know, her grandchild not going to be born, their grandchild is not going to be born in prison. Ridge and Taylor looking for Steffi. They came over to the house, but she was gone. Finn ends up saying that he told her about Luna, and that's when she ends up leaving. Hold on. That's when she ends up leaving or whatever. Bill ends up saying how he want to make sure that Luna has no part in the child's life, and that's when he ends up leaving to go to the prison. Steffi tells Luna to stop with the delusions or whatever, because she was talking about something. I'm not going to be focused on you when I get out of here or whatever. I'm going to be focused on this child and forming a relationship with Will. I said, this girl crazy. I said, she crazy. But at the same time, I could see her getting with Will. Like, I mean, maybe this is just my experience watching soap operas and other stuff or whatever. Just on General Hospital, they ain't in a relationship, but they friends or whatever. Then Nina cut Ava baby out her, and they over here friends, buddy, best friends at that. Well, I ain't gonna say they best friends, but I was like, yeah, so it may not be the same thing, but it's close enough. It's close enough. And not only that, other shows where the person was a psychopath and they did something to trick the person, and then they end up being with them regardless. But we'll see how it plays out. I'm hoping they still keep her locked up. But what else? Let's see. Where we stopped at? Steffi tells Luna to stop with the delusion that Tracy won't get her out of prison. Katie tells Will that he won't lose electric because that's what he was talking about. He's scared. He was like, you know, he already got to deal with it. This may be too much. Excuse me. That may be too much for electric and stuff. The guard ends up telling Luna that she got another visitor. So this fool ends up asking another guard, because I think the guard said something about heat. She's like, heat or whatever. How does my hair look? I said, this girl crazy. And she said, she started fixing the hair and stuff like that. Somebody said, how does her hair look? I said, this girl is crazy. She thought it was Will or whatever. And she was like, when Bill came in there, she was like, are you alone or whatever? I said, this girl is loony. The loony. But yeah, what else? Let's see. Steffi ends up reuniting with her parents. She said how she had to go there to confront Luna or whatever. And now that she confronted her, she feels closure now. She feels like, you know, she can move on. I said, didn't y'all say that last time? I said, you should know by now that nothing's really solid. Well, I ain't gonna say nothing's really solid, but most things are not solid, especially in this situation. You thought she was going to jail for life the first time she murdered two people. She actually murdered two people the first time. This time, she attempted to. I think I don't know if they call it the same thing, attempted murder or what, when she shot Liam, because she running around talking about some self-defense. But yeah, what else? Let's see. I already said she talking about some. She feels closure now. Steffi says that she's disappointed. She's like, I gotta say, I'm disappointed that you called off the engagement. She was like, I know I talked to both of y'all separately or whatever. So Taylor was just telling her she's fine, she's cool or whatever. She's moving on with her life. I said, exactly. Now you need to do the same. And where's Thomas? Why y'all bring him back just to let him go? Y'all need to take some of these other people off. If you go, dog. I know every time they bring him back, he just be on crazy stuff. But at the same time, I thought that he was gonna do something at least. But no, he came and he went. Hold on. I said he came and he went. Then they want to introduce all these new people that came out the blue. Well, they said that the guy Deke is not out the blue. That he was on the show. Not the same guy, but when he was younger, he was on the show. But they never brought him up again. But what else? Let's see. Where we stop it? I think Steffi. Katie was saying how she doesn't think the bill will let Luna brainwash him again. I said, we'll see. I said, but will she brainwash Will? Will she brainwash Will? And Will gonna talk to Bill about getting her out. I said, they gonna have to. I said, what's it called? Isolation or something like that? Is the whole the same thing as isolation? I don't know, but don't they put somebody in the little room or whatever when situations like this happen? I don't know. But yeah, what else? Let's see. I already said how Katie was saying she don't think that Bill will allow Luna to brainwash him again. Bill ends up telling Luna that she won't see the baby ever again, that they taking the baby from her, and she just all emotional. I said, stop trying to bribe him with your tears. What the world going on? Trying to trick him. You can't manipulate. Well, you can manipulate him. You done manipulated him multiple times. I said, you can't be trusted. He over here give her this speech about how she go pay and she not gonna see the baby. We don't believe you. He started yelling and using his voice how he used to be back in the day before they did whatever they done did to him. And just telling her how the same way he used his power to get her out is the same way he gonna use his power to keep her in. I said, we don't believe you. I said, we don't believe you. You don't sit up here got her out before. I said, it should be a law somewhere. You can't do it multiple times at least. Cause I don't like how she did what she did. They downplaying it or whatever. Certain people downplaying it, whatever. And they giving her exactly what she want. That means if they get her out, she could do something else to somebody. Now somebody else gonna end up getting injured or something. Or like people been saying, she gonna get out and then something gonna happen where she has a miscarriage and she gonna end up getting pregnant by somebody else. Cause Deke been studying telling Remy he needs to stay away from her and stuff like that. So you never know. We'll see. I do think she gonna get out, but we'll see. I hope she ain't. What else? Let's see. Like I said, Bill ends up saying how Luna won't see the baby ever again. That's like I said, she a lot calmer. I'm assuming because she's trying to work them and she's trying to get out. So that's why she ain't really showing who she is. Because ain't no way they going to be telling you, even if you ain't a psychopath, somebody telling you they going to take your baby and you going to say nothing to them about they never going to take the baby. I think she said something about y'all can't do that or something she said. But other than that, she been way too calm. They talking about taking your baby, girl. But yeah, I was like, she just waiting. But yeah, he was just reminding her that and then he ends up leaving, and that's when she over here begging him to get her out of jail, stuff like that. The guard ends up taking her tail right back to her cell or whatever. So we gonna go to Finn, then we gonna come back. Finn ends up telling Stephanie that Luna's in prison, she'll never harm her again. I said, didn't you say that last time too? Didn't you say that last time? And when Stephanie was talking to her parents, she called Luna a animal, and she said that she's in jail where she in prison where she belongs and stuff like that, or some type of way she said it. I said, didn't Ridge call Sheila an animal or something like that, and Finn had a problem with that? Didn't he call his mama an animal or something, and he came in there? What he said? Look, I need to look it up now. I gotta look it up. I definitely gotta look it up because I know he had him mad. Lord. I know he had an attitude. I about to say I know he mad and attitude joined together. But I know he was upset. I know he went off either a monster. It couldn't have been a monster. It had to have been an animal or something like that. And I thought they was gonna show Finn face and stuff like that. Because remember how he reacted the last time. But back to Psycho Pants. So they put her in the jail cell or whatever. And that lady just popped up. I ain't see her. She just popped up and she said something about your sugar dad ain't get you out or some comment she made. And she started smiling. She was just looking and stuff like that. They did a flashback where they showed her. She was all bruised up and everything. And she was talking to Bill, and Bill felt sorry for her and stuff like that. So she turned around. She was like, I need you to do it again. She was like, what? Are you sure? She's like, yeah, just don't hit me in the stomach. And so she was like, all right. And then she swung at it and it went off. That's how she gonna get the black eye. I said, I've been saying, I said they need to do it for, well, they didn't actually show last time her hitting her. If I'm not wrong, let me know. Cause I didn't see that part. But I've been saying, I said, ain't no way you a freaking murderer and you think that people first of all, people supposed to care. You don't murder two people. You think people care about whether or not you get beat up? Then you a murderer. You ain't supposed to be scared of nobody. You run around taking people's life and stuff and you scared. I said, she working them. And she was working them. I said, don't fall for it. I said, first she got the father, now she finna get the son. She finna get ready to work Will. And Will gonna end up trying to get Bill to help him or something like that. Now I hope I'm wrong. I hope they don't get her out of jail because so far her plan is working. So far her plan is working. But that's it, y'all. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces. Have a great rest of the day and be safe.